Good afternoon. The 51st meeting of the 73rd term of your Baltimore City Council is now called to order. I would ask all visitors of City Hall if you please could wear a mask at all times. The council is fully vaccinated as well as boosted. I would also ask that if you have any electronic devices that you turn them on silent so we will not have any disruption during today's meeting. Our invocation this evening will be delivered by Pastor Bill Medina from the Baltimore Community Church. Pastor Medina, it is our pleasure. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm going to be reading from the book of Isaiah. This is what the Lord says to the anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I take hold to subdue the nations before him and to strip kings of their thrones, to open the doors before him so that the gates will not shut. I will go before you. I will level the mountains. I will break down gates of bronze, and I will cut through the bars of iron. I will give you the treasures of the darkness, riches stored in secret places, so that you may know that I am the Lord, the God of Israel, who summons you by name. For the sake of my son Jacob, of Israel, my chosen, I summon you by name, and I bestow on you a title of honor, even though you may not acknowledge my name. Father, thank you for today. Thank you for the honor to be here, and we acknowledge that all authority is coming from you. I pray that today we can pray, we can make decisions for the least of the ones of this city that you love so much. May all the decisions be made according to your glory, for your honor. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor Medina. At this time, everyone, please join me in stating the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'll go into roll call. Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos. Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll now proceed with adoption of journals.
Mr. President, the journal for the February 6, 2023 proceedings are on the council member's desk.
Without objection, the journal will be adopted. Hearing and seeing none, the journal is now adopted. Bill signed by the mayor can be found at the beginning of page 2. We'll now go into executive nominations. Madam Clerk, if you could please read the first nomination.
EA 23-0164, Deborah N. Alston, Member, Commission for Women, District 4.
This nomination has been withdrawn. Next.
EA 23-0177, Andre Maislin, Member, Public Art Commission, District 11.
This nomination has been withdrawn as well. We'll now turn to bills to be introduced. Madam Clerk, if you could please read the first bill.
City Council Bill 23-0355, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of General Services, $660,000 for the purpose of providing a supplementary general fund operating appropriation in the amount of $660,000 to the Department of General Services, Service 731, Facilities Management, to provide funding for fiscal year 2022 expenses and providing for a special effective date. Sponsors Mosby on behalf of the administration.
This bill has been assigned to Ways and Means. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0356, Zoning, Modifications to Research and Development Facility Use for the purpose of amending the definition of research and development establishment, creating use standards for research and development establishments, amending certain tables of uses to reflect revised use provisions for research and development establishments in certain zoning districts. Sponsor Mosby on behalf of the administration.
This bill has been assigned to ECD. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0357, Strengthening Renter Safety Act for the purpose of establishing a priority inspection, establishing criteria for priority dwellings and priority inspections, requiring the Commissioner of the Department of Housing and Community Development to post certain notices, amending certain rental dwelling license application requirements, amending certain prerequisites for new and renewed rental dwelling licenses, amending license fees, updating inspection requirements, requiring the posting of licensing numbers, updating causes for denial, suspension, or revocation of a license, bolstering public access to information, authorizing the initiation of enforcement of the subtitle by complaint, providing the certain data collection, establishing the Baltimore City Rental Licensing and Inspection Task Force, providing for the composition, terms, and organization of the task force, establishing the duties of the task force, adding a civil citation fine for violating of licensing requirements, requiring annual reporting, amending certain definitions, providing a time period when the task force shall first convene, and providing for a special effective date. Sponsor Cohen.
At this time, I would like to allow the bill sponsor to present the bill. Mr. Sponsor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to my colleagues, particularly Councilman Torrance, for your partnership on this bill. The Strengthening Renter Safety Act is about demanding a basic standard of decency for people who live in Baltimore. It's about lifting up our neighbors who have been subjected to unsafe, substandard conditions, rats, roaches, lead paint, mold, broken elevators, and other forms of neglect. Today we say enough is enough. This bill requires the Department of Housing and Community Development to identify a small number of large apartment buildings in Baltimore with the worst living conditions. Buildings that meet two of the following criteria over a 1-year period: lead paint or elevator notice unaddressed for 30+ days, any other habitability notice unaddressed for 60 days, high level of 311 requests relative to number of units in the building, building is operating on a 1-year license, building is inspected by HUD annually due to poor conditions. These buildings will receive twice annual priority inspections by our own city inspectors. They will have an opportunity to fix any issues that are identified. If at this point the building still cannot provide a minimum humane standard of living for tenants, it will lose its rental license. In addition to increased inspections, this bill increases transparency. Too often, tenants don't know when they are moving into an unlicensed building. The SRS Act will require landlords to provide proof of a valid license with advertising, rental applications, and leases, and it requires DHCD to post notice to tenants in unlicensed buildings. Finally, the Strengthening Renter Safety Act increases oversight and accountability for rental inspections. It introduces a tenant-initiated complaint process that obligates DHCD to investigate and respond. It requires detailed data tracking and reporting, and it establishes a task force of tenants, landlords, agency heads, and advocates to review the data and make sure we are improving the conditions of rental housing in Baltimore. Let me be clear. This is not an anti-landlord bill. This is an anti-slumlord bill. The vast majority of property owners in Baltimore operate responsibly, and we appreciate you. But for this handful of slum landlords that poison our neighbors with lead and mold, that refuse to fix broken elevators or invest in maintenance, let me also be clear. We will find you, we will fine you, and if you refuse to comply, we will remove your license to operate in Baltimore. We will hold slum landlords accountable by holding DHCD accountable to enforce the law. We will fight for DHCD to have more resources and more inspection power, and this bill includes a licensing fee paid by buildings with the worst conditions to cover these inspections. But we will also expect more from DHCD. The Strengthening Renter Safety Act sets us on a path to becoming a safer city. I look forward to a committee hearing on this bill. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. At this time, are there any co-sponsors? See the hand raised of Councilwoman Ramos, Burnett, Dorsey, Bullock, Glover, Torrance. Madam Clerk, if you could please note, this bill will be assigned to Economic Community Development. Madam Clerk, next bill.
City Council Bill 23-0358, Urban Renewal, Key Highway Amendment 4, for the purpose of amending the urban renewal plan for Key Highway, to revise the boundaries of the plan, to remove a certain property, to strike certain related development area controls, and to amend certain exhibits to reflect the changes in the plan, waiving certain content and procedural requirements, making the provisions of the ordinance severable, providing for the application of this ordinance in conjunction with certain other ordinances, and providing for a special effective date. Sponsor Costello.
This bill will be assigned to Economic Community Development. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0359, rezoning 600 North Packer Street for the purpose of changing the zoning for the property known as 600 North Packer Street, Block 546, Lot 032, as outlined in red on the accompanying plat from the OS zoning district to the R8 zoning district and providing for a special effective date. Sponsor Costello.
This bill will be assigned to ECD. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0360, zoning conditional use conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to 2 dwelling units in the R7 zoning districts, variances 2206 West Saratoga Street for the purpose of permitting, subject to certain conditions, the conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to 2 dwelling units in the R7 zoning district on the property known as 2206 West Saratoga Street, Block 144, Lot 004, as outlined in red on the accompanying plat and providing for a special effective date. Sponsor Bullock.
This bill will be assigned to ECD. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0361, zoning conditional use conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to 2 dwelling units in the R8 zoning district, variances 1613 Emerson Avenue, for the purpose of permitting, subject to certain conditions, the conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to 2 dwelling units in the R8 zoning district on the property known as 1613 Emerson Avenue, Block 122, Lot 025, as outlined in red on the accompanying plat and providing for a special effective date. Sponsor Bullock.
This bill has been assigned to ECD. Madam Clerk, we're going to go into resolutions.
City Council Resolutions 23-0157R, informational hearing, Housing Authority of Baltimore City, broadband requirements and access, for the purpose of inviting representatives from the Housing Authority to Baltimore City, the Department of Housing and Community Development, Baltimore City Information Technology, the Department of Recreation and Parks, and other interested parties to brief the City Council on the Housing Authority of Baltimore City's progress in furnishing broadband internet access to low-income city residents through the Federal Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. Sponsor Stokes.
At this time, the body would like to recognize Chair Stokes. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are inviting Housing Authority, Baltimore City, Department of Housing, Community Development, Baltimore City Information Technology, Department of Rec and Parks, and other interested parties because this is some federal emergency broadband benefits program, and HABC has already allocated $15 million, and they need to come before the council to find out when are we going to do this, because you know during the COVID, we gave out computers, but residents didn't have no internet. So this is important to Baltimore City, so it's just a hearing to get an update from those agencies and also HABC. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much. That resolution has been assigned to Health, Environment, and Technology Committee. Madam Clerk.
City Council Resolution 23-0158R, request for state action, immediate implementation of local control of the Baltimore City Police Department for the purpose of calling on the Maryland General Assembly to pass and the governor to sign legislation that will immediately implement local control of the Baltimore City Police Department as endorsed by city voters during the November 2022 election. Sponsors Stokes and Cohen.
At this time, I'd like to recognize Chairman Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last year, we know that the residents, 82% of residents voted that they wanted Baltimore City Police Department to have full control, and we found out Article
2.
Page 2, Article 27 will give, the General Assembly will have to give us the authorization to have full control of the Baltimore City Police Department, and we want to make sure that happens in June of 2023, not December 2023, and not 2024. Senator Joe Carter and Delegate Smith have their bill to go, and we're looking forward to the General Assembly introducing and have the governor sign it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to suspend the rule for immediate adoption.
I move the resolution for immediate adoption.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. Hearing and seeing none, the rules are suspended. Chairman Stokes, if you could please move the resolution.
I'll move the resolution for immediate adoption.
Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
President Mosby.
Aye.
Cohen. McCray. Dorsey. Conway. Schleifer. Middleton. Torrance. Burnett. Bullock. Porter. Costello. Stokes. Glover. Ramos.
The motion is approved. The resolution has been adopted. Madam Clerk, if you could please go to the next resolution.
City Council Resolution 23-0159R, recognizing the service of Nikki Thompson, for the purpose of recognizing Nikki Thompson Esquire for her distinguished service to the City of Baltimore. Sponsor Mosby.
At this time, I'd like to call on Madam Vice President. We're going to suspend the rules, immediate adoption.
Suspend the rules for immediate adoption.
Is there any unreadiness? Hearing and seeing none, the rules will be suspended without objection. Now the rules are suspended. Madam Vice President.
I move that we have this resolution for immediate adoption.
Yes, that's perfect. At this time, Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
President Mosby.
Aye.
Cohen. McCray. Dorsey. Conway. Schleifer. Middleton. Torrance. Burnett. Bullock. Porter. Costello. Stokes. Glover. Ramos.
This motion is approved. The resolution has been adopted. Would like to point that Nikki will still be on payroll. She'll still be working with you guys, but this is her last meeting before she departs. So I know members had an issue with that prior. Madam Clerk. Never mind. You can find the consent calendar in Section A on the back of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar? It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The consent calendar is adopted. We'll now move to bills to be presented on second reading. Before we do so, I'd like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we read short titles for second and third reader for the duration of the meeting.
Without objection, will be in short titles for the duration of the meeting. Hearing and seeing none, we're in short titles. Madam Clerk, if you could please go into the first bill.
EA 23-0158, Matthew Matt Campbell, Executive Director, Baltimore Convention Center.
Body would like to recognize the chair of the committee, Chairman Schleifer. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee held this nomination on February 9th, 2023, and I'd like to move the nomination favorable.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0165, Candace Everett, Member, Commission for Women, District 12.
Mr. Chair.
The committee held 12 executive appointments hearings on February 23rd, and we are moving all of them favorable, so I'd like to move this nomination favorable.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. I would like to, believe, is that you hiding in the back, Mr. Mack? Well, congratulations, Mr. Matthew Matt Campbell. We understand and know how important the convention center is to the city of Baltimore. I hosted CIAA tournament over this past weekend where hopefully we had 80 to 90,000 guests in our city. We understand and know how important that is to not only conferences and conventions that have come here, but moving forward. It's definitely been a gem that we need to polish up a little bit more. This council's been working with the administration to do so. I think you're going to see that some of the supplementary items. You're walking in really big footsteps ahead of you, but we look forward to your leadership. So thank you so much. Madam Clerk, if you could please go into 23-166.
EA 23-0166, Casey N.R. Brent, Member, Commission for Women, District 1.
Mr. Chair.
I move the nomination favorable.
It's been moved and probably second. All in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0167, Kimberly Haven, Member, Commission for Women, District 1.
Mr. Chair.
I move the nomination favorable.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Just a footnote about Ms. Kimberly Haven. She actually helped me write Ban the Box when I was a council member a long time ago. So I'm excited for her leadership as well. Madam Clerk, if you could please read the next roll.
EA 23-0168, Linda Davis, Member, Commission for Women, District 4.
Mr. Chair.
I move the nomination favorable.
It's been moved and probably second. All in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0169, Louis O. Cardona, Member, Baltimore Hispanic Commission, District 1.
I
Mr.
move
Chair.
the nomination favorable.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0170, Maria Daniela Priesthoff, Member, Baltimore Hispanic Commission, District 10.
Mr. Clerk. Sorry, Mr. Chair.
I move the nomination favorable.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0171, Luis Espinoza, Member, Baltimore Hispanic Commission, District 4.
Mr. Chair,
I move the nomination favorable.
it's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0172, Desiree Velazquez, Member, Baltimore Hispanic Commission.
Mr. Clerk.
I move the nomination favorable.
It's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0173, Whitney Visker, Member, Baltimore Hispanic Commission, District 14.
Mr. Chair,
I move the nomination favorable.
it's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0174, Jazz Ehrenberg, Member, Public Art Commission, District 1.
Mr. Chair,
I move the nomination favorable.
it's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0176, Jessica Bell Brown, Member, Public Art Commission, District 7.
Mr. Chair,
I move the nomination favorable.
it's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The item is approved. Madam Clerk.
EA 23-0178, Evan Richardson, Member, Public Art Commission, District 3.
Mr. Chair,
I move the nomination favorable.
it's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The item is approved. We'll go into Ways and Means now. Madam Clerk, please read the first bill.
City Council Ordinance 22-0299, Tax Credits, Historic Properties, Application Extension.
I would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Pardon me, Mr. President. This is for 22-0299, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill was amended. There's amendments on my colleague's desk. I move the amendment.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. It's been amended.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably as amended.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill moves forward as amended. Madam Clerk.
Or, Mr. President.
I'm sorry, pretty for third reading as well. Yes.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mr.
we're going to do immediate adoption. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I move to suspend the rules to double read this bill today.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. Hearing and seeing none, they're suspended to double read the bill today.
Thank you, Mr. President. One last item for the mayor's office, specifically for the mayor's office. This is the renewal of the CHAP historic tax credit. This program expires tomorrow, so this bill is going to require mayor's signature this evening or sometime tomorrow so that there's not a disruption in the program. Thank you, Mr. President.
And it's also a point to note, can we talk about the sunset?
Yes, Mr. President, thank you for reminding me. This bill has a one-year extension on it. That was amended down from 5 years due to the need for the city to complete an evaluation of our entire tax credit portfolio. So more information on that process will be coming from the council in coordination with your office in the very near future. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for putting that on the record. Madam Clerk, please read the next bill.
City Council Ordinance 22-0304, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Health Department, $310,000.
Chairman Costello.
Move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably second. All in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill is approved. Will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0305, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Health Department, $1,500,000.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill is approved. Will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0306, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Health Department, $32 million.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's an amendment on my colleague's desk. I move the amendment.
Is there a second? It's been moved and probably second for us to move the amendment forward. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The amendment is approved. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably as amended.
It's been moved and properly seconded for the bill to be moved forward as amended. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0307, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Health Department, $35,000.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0308, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of General Services, $750,000.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. There is an amendment on my colleague's desk. I move the amendment favorably.
It's been moved and probably second for us to move the amendment forward. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably as amended.
It's been moved and properly seconded to move the bill forward as amended. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0309, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of General Services, $675,000.
Body would like to recognize Mr. Chair. Chair's the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's an amendment on my colleague's desk. I move the amendment.
Is there a second? It's been moved and probably seconded for us to move the amendment forward. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably as amended.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we move the bill forward as amended. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading as amended. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0310, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of General Services, $8,400,000.
The council would like to recognize the chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill moves forward. It will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0311, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of Finance, $1,900,000.
Body would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0312, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Mayoralty, Convention Center Hotel, $5,375,000.
Body would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's a floor amendment on my colleague's desk. I move the amendment.
Is there a second? There is a second. It's been moved and probably seconded for us to move forward with the amendment on your desk. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably as amended.
Is there a second? It's been moved and probably seconded for us to move the bill forward as amended. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0313, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Mayoralty, Miscellaneous General Expenses, $22,400,000.
Council would like to recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the bill favorably.
Is there a second? It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0314, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of Planning, $485,000.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's an amendment on my colleague's desk. I move the amendment.
Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded to move forward with the amendment. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the bill favorably as amended.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0315, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of Planning, $13,520,000.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Let's do that again. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance is 22-0316, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of Public Works, $2,725,000.
Council would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's a floor amendment on my colleague's desk. I move the amendment.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Madam Clerk, Executive Secretary, if you could please note as one nay for the amendment from Chairman Schleifer. This is for City Council Bill 22-316. At this time, the body would like to, so for everybody, housekeeping notes, we just passed the amendment. Now we're going to go and hear the bill. There was one nay in opposition of the amendment. At this time, Mr. Chair, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably as amended.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Please note that the bill moves forward as amended, will be printed for third reading. There is a nay vote, and that is Chairman Schleifer. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0317, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of Transportation, $1,575,000.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0318, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of Transportation, $275,000.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 22-0319, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Department of Transportation, $2,575,000.
The council would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 23-0328, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Office of Equity and Civil Rights, $2,388,300. Let me start over. $2,388,311.
The body would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill moves forward for third reading. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 23-0330, Supplementary General Fund Capital Appropriation, Department of Housing and Community Development, $6,600,000.
Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Madam Clerk.
Mr. President.
The body would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend the rules to move this bill to third reader on the same day.
Are there any objection to suspending rules to double read this on the same day? Hearing and seeing none, the rules will be suspended to do so. You can call a motion for it?
Move to suspend the rules.
Oh, yeah. We don't have to second it. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Madam Clerk?
City Council.
I'm sorry, just make sure that will be printed for third reading. Again, we're going to do a double read on that today. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 23-0332, Supplementary General Fund Capital Appropriation, Baltimore City Convention Center, $1 million.
Body would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend the rules to advance this bill to third reader on the same day.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended to have a double reading today. Any objection or unreadiness? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move forward with it as a double read. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 23-0333, Supplementary General Fund Capital Appropriation, Baltimore City Convention Center, $1,543,000.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably.
Been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend the rules to advance this bill to third reader on the same day.
Without objection, the bill will be double read today. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move forward with the bill on third reading for a double read today. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 23-0334, Supplementary General Fund Capital Appropriation, Baltimore City Convention Center, $3,757,000.
Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. Mr. Chair,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend the rules to advance this bill to third reader on the same day.
without objection, the rules will be suspended for us to have a double read today. Hearing and seeing none, it advances to third reading for a double read today. Madam Clerk.
City Council Ordinance 23-0340, Supplementary General Fund Capital Appropriation, PRJ 002758, $9 million.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Madam Clerk. I move the bill favorably.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The bill will be printed for third reading. We'll now turn to...
Mr. President, I
Is
need
that-
to
that's a
suspend.
double read too?
Yep. Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend the rules to advance the bill to third reader on the same day.
Oh, yeah. This is Emerson Village Shopping Center. At this time, we're moving to advance this bill today and suspending the rules for same-day read. Is there any objections? Hearing and seeing none, it will be printed for third reading. We'll double read today. Back to you, Mr. Clerk, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just one other note for the mayor's office. These 5 supplementary appropriations bills deal with PSO, Edmondson Village, and then 3 bills dealing with capital maintenance at the convention center and require the mayor's immediate attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We'll now turn bills on third reading for final passage that require invocation of City Council Rule 12-1, same-day advancement. We've all approved, but it's important for us to take a roll call. So, Madam Clerk, if you could please read the first bill.
City Council Bill 22-0299, Tax Credits, Historic Properties, Application Extensions. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
Let's please note that Councilwoman Porter is absent. This bill's approved. Madam Clerk, if you could please read the next bill.
City Council Bill 23-0330, Supplementary General Fund, Capital Appropriation, Department of Housing and Community Development, $6,600,000. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0332, Supplementary General Fund, Capital Appropriation, Baltimore City Convention Center, $1 million. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0333, Supplementary General Fund, Capital Appropriation, Baltimore City Convention Center, $1,543,000. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0334, Supplementary General Fund, Capital Appropriation, Baltimore City Convention Center, $3,757,000. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 23-0340, Supplementary General Fund, Capital Appropriation, PRJ 002758, $9 million. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Madam Clerk. We'll now go to bills on third reading. If you could please read the first bill.
City Council Bill 22-0266, Sale of Property, 1200 North Fremont Avenue. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 22-0268, Sale of Property, 800 Poplar Grove Street. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Madam Clerk.
City Council Bill 22-0284, Sarah Ann Street Historic District. President Mosby, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Costello, Stokes, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. At this time, we're going to go to committee announcements. First committee up, Madam Vice President, ECD. Please make your announcements.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Economic and Community Development Committee would like to announce the following hearings. On March 21st, 2023, there are 5 bills. At 2 p.m., Bill number 22-0262, that's Landmark List Exteriors, the Baltimore City Engine Company 14 Firehouse, sponsor Bullock. At 2:05 p.m., Bill number 22-0263, that's the Landmark List Exteriors Harlem Theater, sponsor Bullock. At 2:10 p.m., Bill number 22-0264, Landmark List Exteriors, that's the Canton Railroad Transfer Bridge, sponsor Cohen. At 2:15 p.m., Bill number 22-0265, Landmark List Exteriors, 3818 Roland Avenue, sponsor Ramos. And at 2:20 p.m., Bill number 22-0277, Landmark List Reed Callaway House, sponsor Torrance. On March 28th, 2023, at 2 p.m., Bill number 22-0322, zoning conditional use conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to 2 dwelling units in the R8 zoning district. Variances, that's 1801 Holland Street, sponsor Ramos. Bullock, sponsor Bullock. Bill, and at 2:05 p.m., Bill number 22-0323, zoning conditional use parking lot 2618 and 3620 Elm Avenue. That's sponsor Ramos. 2:10 p.m., Bill number 22-0325, zoning conditional use conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to 2 dwelling units in the R7 zoning district. Variances 466 Hornell Street, sponsor Cohen. And on April 4th, 2023, at 2 p.m., Bill number 22-0296, rezoning 810 Leadenhall Street, Council Member Costello. And at 2:05 p.m., Bill number 22-0321, rezoning 1419 and 1431 Bank Street and 409 South Spring Street, sponsor Cohen. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to Education, Workforce, and Youth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Education, Workforce, and Youth Committee will hold a legislative oversight hearing on Baltimore City Children and Youth Fund, just to give an update on the status of and on activities associated with the Youth Fund. Also, on Thursday, April the 6th at 5 p.m., the Education, Workforce, and Youth Committee will hold a legislative oversight of Baltimore City Schools math scores that will be televised on Cable 25. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And Mr. Chair, you're going to read the legislative investigative announcement as well.
The legislative investigation will hold a hearing on Tuesday, March the 7th, 2023 at 5 p.m. This is actually a hearing reconvened from the Baltimore City analysis on the sale or state of control of the conduit system. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Next time, we're going to turn to Health, Environment, and Technology. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Health, Environment, and Technology Committee will hold a hearing for Resolution 22-014-2R. informational hearing, Workday implementation status, on Wednesday, March the 8th, 2023 at 10 a.m. The hearing will be held in the council chamber and also through WebEx. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next up, we're going to go to PSO. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Public Safety and Government Operations Committee is going to actually reschedule 2 hearings, both on March 15th. Originally, they're going to be moved to March 22nd. The first is for Bill number 21-0074, Office of Emergency Management, Independent Agency. That'll be heard at 1 p.m. And the second is for LO 23-0032. That will also be held on March 22nd, 2023 at 1:01 p.m., and that is for legislative oversight, city hiring of day laborers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And last and certainly not least, Rules and Legislative Oversight. Chairman Schleifer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Rules and Legislative Oversight Committee will hold a hearing on Thursday, March 9th at 4:30 p.m. On the Clean Core program. And followed by that, we will hold a hearing on EA 23-0175 on Thursday, March 9th at 5 p.m. For Faith Leach, City Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chairman Burnett, do we have a special guest tonight? At this time, I'd like to recognize Chairman Burnett.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I think it's important that we always, with so much narrative about city schools and some of our young people, city school students, performance, I think it's also, while we should be holding schools accountable, teachers accountable, and ourselves for those outcomes, it's also important to spotlight when our young people are doing amazing things. And so this evening, I'm joined by Riley Manderson and Ricardo Manderson, and I would like to suspend rules for 4 privileges. Riley scored in the top 1% nationally in the NWEA exam. She's a student. Give it up.
You come all the way up.
She's a student at KIPP Ujima School and is doing amazing work. Ricardo is also a community leader in my district who is a fierce fighter in the St. Joseph's neighborhood, and so thought it was important to present a resolution to spotlight her amazing work. She seems really nervous right now. It's all good. We love you. But just wanted to lift it up as one of our scholars, really killing it at the national level, and has a really bright future ahead. So just giving that to her.
Thank you.
And be here by known on behalf of the City Council of Baltimore offers our sincerest congratulations to Riley Manderson and recognition for your academic achievements in testing in the top 1% in math nationally on the NWEA. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented today, signed by our Council President, Nick Mosby, and myself on behalf of the City Council. Congratulations, Riley.
Goodness. At this time, are there any other regular announcements? Hearing and seeing none, Madam Vice President.
The next meeting of the City Council will be held on Monday, March 13th, 2023 at 5 p.m. And may we have a moment of silence for the families of now 42 victims of homicide this year and more than 1,942 Baltimoreans who have died from COVID since the beginning of the pandemic. And also added to our list is Gloria Jenkins from the 2nd District.
Thank you. There being no new business.